God's advice today. This message was lovingly prepared to bring peace and guidance to your heart. If it touches you, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll keep receiving uplifting content. Stay with us until the end. We've prepared something special with great care. Discover something life-changing. In the first comment, I left a special prayer and an opportunity that could open doors you never imagined. God said, "My dear child, listen to me with all your being, for today I speak to you not as someone distant, but as the one who has always been near, even when your eyes could not see me. Quiet your heart now, set aside for a moment everything that occupies your mind, and prepare your spirit to receive each word that flows from my eternal love. I tell you, a decisive turning point has already arrived in your life. It is not something that will come someday, nor a promise postponed for an uncertain tomorrow. It is a gift already before you. Are you seeking a deep spiritual change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Imagine attracting wealth and abundance in less than a week, while blessings pour upon you daily. All this begins with a simple 1-minute prayer. To discover how this technique can transform your reality, click the link in the first comment. Every step you take toward this journey not only benefits you but also supports our channel and the dedicated team that brings this valuable content to you. Do not wait any longer to begin this journey of spiritual and material transformation. Click right now to learn more and begin your path toward a fuller and more abundant life. I feel the deepest pulses of your heart. I know the hidden tears no one else saw, and I know that your cry was not just a fleeting request, but a soul's outcry shaped by pain, by waiting, and by persistent hope. The silent movement you have felt within is not the product of anxiety, but a spiritual discernment I myself planted in your innermost being so that you would not overlook what is already happening, even if your natural eyes do not yet fully understand. Just as it is written, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up, do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19. Receive it and walk forward, for it has already begun. My beloved child, listen to me with all the attention of your heart, for I do not speak merely to comfort your weary soul, but to awaken in you the awareness that this is a decisive time. The words I now give you are not an echo of empty consolation, but a direct call, a sacred summons for you to rise and walk firmly in the purpose I gave you. The spiritual realm has already moved on your behalf, and what is yours has already been released before my throne. Yet there are forces that rise against you, trying to intercept what I have already determined as your inheritance. The real battle is not for what you hold in your hands now, but for your trust in me. That is why I ask you not to ignore the seriousness of this hour. Turn away from distractions and prepare your spirit, for what I will reveal is the key that will open the door you have waited so long to see unlocked. I did not reveal this to you before because there were areas in you that needed to mature, and in the silence of the wait, I was shaping your faith, refining your endurance, and teaching you to hear my voice clearly. Comment, I trust in the love of God, He is my refuge. Nothing you have lived through has been wasted, my child. Every tear, every door that closed, every night when uncertainty was your only companion, all of it was part of a much greater plan. I was guiding you with a care that only absolute love can give. When I withheld opportunities, it was not to deprive you but to protect you. When I delayed blessings, it was not to deny what belongs to you, but to ensure that when you received them, they would be a source of life and not a cause for stumbling. I know you asked for immediate relief, but I was preparing fullness. And just as it is written, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. Every apparent delay was, in truth, perfect alignment with my eternal timing, and now what your pain produced and your suffering purified is ready to bloom. Comment: I believe that God never makes mistakes in timing. I know your faithfulness, even when contrary winds tried to knock you down. I know that even when tired, you chose to remain by my side, and even when confused, you did not abandon me. I saw the weight of exhaustion upon you, and I know the effort you made to keep believing. But today I declare that the season of stagnation has ended. I lift the veil that kept you from seeing the next chapter, and I restore your spiritual vision. Remember what my word says: those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken but endures forever. Psalm 125 verse 1. You are not defined by losses or mistakes, but by my choice over your life. Within you, seeds you thought were dead are now beginning to sprout, and what you buried in silence I am bringing back to life. Comment: I know my hope is in God's hands. Listen carefully, my child. The requests you made in the silence of the night, when fear seemed to suffocate your faith, are being answered. Those dreams you hid deep in your heart, thinking time had erased them, I am rekindling them now. Today, I declare the end of scarcity and the beginning of a season of abundance. I will not only restore what was taken but will do so in multiplied measure, so that your mouth will be filled with laughter and your heart with gratitude. What is coming will be so great that you yourself will be in awe. Honor, joy, and peace will join together to show you that I am your faithful God. Therefore, wake up to live fully, for the freedom you awaited has arrived. Do not go back, for together we will walk into the full fulfillment of my promises. Did you know there's an effective method to attract more financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deepest beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It's something that has had a great impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to discover this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you'd like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing inspiring and transformative content, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment so you can see how this technique can also help in your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. Your waiting was not a waste of time, but an eternal investment. Every second of patience strengthened your roots and made you capable of carrying the weight of the blessings that are now approaching. None of your tears were ignored, each one was gathered as a seed in my garden, and now the time for harvest has come. The silent battle you fought developed in you a discernment that few possess, and this will be one of your greatest treasures for the days ahead. The season that begins will be marked by opportunities so perfectly aligned with my purpose that you will recognize my hand in every detail. Where there were once closed doors, you will see open paths. Where there were words of discouragement, you will hear confirmations. I am moving hearts and circumstances so that everything will fit together perfectly. Comment: I know that God turns tears into victory. But I want you to remember, this is a time that requires courage and watchfulness. Do not allow voices of doubt to steal what I have already released over you. Keep your eyes fixed on me, for the enemy knows he cannot take away what I have given you, but he will try to weaken your confidence so that you yourself stop taking hold of it. Every act of faith in this season will carry eternal weight, and every step of obedience will open new dimensions of favor. As you move forward, you will realize that the weight you have carried until now was not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for the glory that now awaits you. Walk with firmness, for the road ahead has been paved by my own hands. Comment, I walk by faith and not by sight. So receive this word as a seal upon your spirit. You have reached the turning point. What was hidden will be revealed. What was held back will be released. What seemed lost will be restored. This is no longer the time to merely survive, but to live in fullness in what I have already prepared for you. You are loved, chosen, and protected. And now, my child, we begin together the most glorious chapter of your story. Move forward without fear, for I am with you, and every promise I have made to you will be fulfilled before your eyes. This is the time, this is the moment, this is your hour. My beloved child, from the very beginning, I want you to know, there was never a single moment when your steps escaped my sight. From those days when you woke up with the strange feeling of briefly forgetting your pain, only for it to return like a cold, silent wave, I was there. I saw you struggle against the invisible weight that tried to keep you lying down, yet you found the strength to rise and face the day. I stood beside you when you pretended not to hurt, when, even with a weary heart, you chose to go on for the sake of those who needed you. I knew every internal battle you fought to keep sadness at bay, and I noticed how, in the midst of it all, you sought quiet moments to talk to your own heart, trying to find comfort. I never stopped hearing the questions you dared not voice aloud, nor did I fail to sense your soul's cry for my presence. I knew you carried a burden you didn't want anyone to see, a burden that made you hide your struggles so as not to worry those you love. Yet I saw the silent courage with which you faced each morning, even when exhaustion clung to your skin. I also saw your quiet generosity, my child. I noticed how, even with little, you shared what you had with those who had less, and how you offered words of peace to others while your own heart longed for rest. I watched your effort to turn your thoughts away from pain, how you pretended to read while your eyes filled with tears you wouldn't let fall. I was with you during the long nights when sleep escaped you, stolen by unease or physical discomfort. I walked with you through the silent house, hearing your whispered prayers, the ones no one else knew. I knew the fears you tried to suppress, the fear of being a burden to others, the insecurity over dwindling resources, the worry about illness and having no one to care for you, the concern that your loved ones might be too busy to visit. Each one of these worries touched my heart deeply, and it was at that moment that I began to prepare the path ahead for you. When I saw you pause before the mirror, noticing changes and feeling a longing for your younger self, I also saw your maturity as you accepted the person you had become, even with the marks of time. My dear one, I know how brave you were in times of hard decisions, when no one else could share the burden with you. I know there were moments of frustration, yet you remained determined to handle things with your own hands. Today, I want you to understand something you might not yet have realized. Every one of those painful seasons was also a time of deep connection between us. My silence was never abandonment but protection. When you begged for quick answers and it seemed I did not hear you, I was cultivating in you qualities that only blossom in quiet seasons: patience, strength, resilience, and an unshakable faith. On the days when I did not immediately respond to your cries, I was working invisibly, shaping your heart and strengthening your soul for what lay ahead. Do you remember that separation you thought would break you? I closed that road, my child, because beyond it lay even greater sorrows you could not bear. At the time, you could not understand, but I already knew the end of that story and knew it was not the future I prepared for you. There were times when you lost chances you believed would save you. I saw your heart tighten and your soul feel empty, but I was already writing a plan far greater. My perfect timing required you to first gain certain lessons, to mature in wisdom, to be ready to receive without harm. I know there were times you thought I had forgotten you, especially when you saw others, less faithful, receiving victories while you still waited. But what you did not know was that I was holding back something that could only be given at the exact right moment. Like a guardian who keeps the most precious gift for the perfect occasion, I held back certain blessings, not to deny you, but to protect you from receiving them too soon. Every door I closed was actually a promise that something better was coming. Every no you sensed from me was really a not now, because I did not want the blessing to become a burden. My child, every tear you shed was gathered and treasured by me, not as a sign of weakness but as seeds. And just as a farmer waits for the right season to plant and harvest, I waited for the perfect time for you to see the fruit of what you endured. When you thought you were alone, I was sustaining your spirit. When you felt invisible, I was shaping you to be seen at the right time. I know your heart longed for quick relief, but what I was preparing for you was not just an escape, but a transformation. I prepared you so that when the answer came, you would receive it with gratitude and wisdom. And now, the time of waiting is drawing to a close. What seemed barren in your life will begin to bloom, and areas you thought lost will be renewed. My beloved child, I speak to you today with a love that transcends all the circumstances you have faced and continue to face. I know the weight you have carried for so long, the burden that seemed to crush your spirit, and the loneliness that accompanied you in the darkest hours. But listen to me carefully, nothing was in vain. Every delay, every waiting period, every silence that felt like distance was, in fact, the perfect weaving of my divine plan for your life. I was never absent. On the contrary, I was there, closer than you could ever imagine, shaping every moment, preparing your heart, your steps, and all that is to come. When everything around you seemed to crumble, I was in every breath you took, holding your invisible hand and giving you strength to go on. Even when you thought I did not hear you, when the pain felt greater than your capacity to bear, my silent presence was the invisible foundation that upheld your being. In every decision you made, even those that seemed wrong or confusing, I breathed wisdom and discernment into you. I was the inner voice guiding you, the faint light on the horizon of your mind, the exact words you could not find to express what you felt. I granted you strength to rise on days when everything within you longed only to remain still, in silence. For I know, my child, that stillness is sometimes the fertile soil where renewal begins. I worked not only within you but also all around you. I prepared hearts, aligned destinies, and wove encounters that seemed like mere coincidences but carried my careful hand. Every act of kindness received, every word of encouragement, every unexpected help that came at the right moment was a reflection of my love working through others. I was clearing the ground, uprooting past pains and inherited anxieties, those you hadn't even realized existed inside you. I freed your soul from invisible chains that held you back, creating space for new hope to bloom within you, even when it seemed everything was lost. I assure you, nothing you went through was without purpose. Every challenge, every tear, every moment of doubt was a refining process, a preparation for the great turning point happening now. I teach you, my child, to see beyond physical eyes, to perceive with your spirit the hidden truths that the world cannot always reveal. Often, my presence comes not with grand displays but in the silence, that deep peace that floods your being in the hardest moments. I allowed you to pass through that harsh season not to harm you, but to strengthen you, not to push you away, but to draw you closer, not to break you, but to make you whole and resilient. Each day of waiting built within you a strength you did not know before, preparing your heart to hold blessings that once seemed too heavy to carry. That pause, which seemed empty, was in fact a sacred time, a holy stillness necessary for me to prepare in secret the treasures I now give you. The season of waiting has ended, my beloved child. The obstacles that prevented you from receiving what is rightfully yours have now been removed. Not sometime in the future, not when all conditions are perfect, but right now, in this very moment, the time I set for you before the foundation of the world. I celebrate your faithfulness, your constant love, and your unwavering trust. The result is full restoration, abundant favor, and the clear manifestation of my presence in your life. Paths once closed are opening before you, not because of any new effort on your part, but because the appointed time I established with eternal love has come. I proclaim that the shadows of lack that lingered over you are gone. The chains that caused you to accept less than you deserve are broken. Every negative word spoken against your peace, your worth, and your happiness has lost its power. Now, my child, receive the comfort, the help, and the love that have long been withheld. Resources are appearing from unexpected places. People you have never met are being moved to bless your life. What once seemed impossible because of age or circumstances is now becoming real before your eyes. I transcend human limitations for those devoted to me. I bring renewal to your physical body, emotional soul, and spirit. This will not be an explosive event, but a gentle, steady restoration spreading throughout your entire being, filling your soul with profound peace. I declare an end to the sadness that followed you, to the worries that stole your joy, and I usher in a new season of abundant life, overflowing with my presence. I know the old pains that still arise in your soul, bringing back memories that wound, moments when you felt alone and misunderstood. I am here to close those wounds that still bleed, to dry up the sources of bitterness that clouded the brightness of your spirit. Every tear shed, every feeling of rejection, every moment your essence was overshadowed by others' opinions, I gather all of it and transform it into healing and strength for you. Because, my child, the value that was denied to you, the esteem you were not given, now reaches you abundantly, so that your light, once dimmed by judgment, may shine brighter than ever. I see the true face that few have seen, the soul that was always worthy of love and respect. On the journeys of life, it was difficult for you to understand why some judged you by appearance, by age, or by the circumstances you found yourself in. They did not perceive the treasure you carried within your chest, a brave soul, made to transform. But I tell you, that mistaken judgment does not define who you are. On the contrary, those experiences that seem to weigh heavily on your shoulders are now the foundation for you to become a source of comfort for other wounded hearts. The suffering you lived was not in vain, it prepared you for a special role, granting you a singular grace and deep wisdom. That calm strength, which resides in your most intimate reflections, will be the seed of significant changes, for you and for those around you. Your home, once marked by unrest, will become a refuge of peace and rest for many. Beloved child, the purpose that burned in your heart since youth still pulses in you with renewed vigor. That flame which once seemed fragile and uncertain is now fueled by a firm confidence, forged in the battles and trials you faced. It is not naive hope, but a firm understanding of what is true, a light that shines even in darkness. I want you to return with me to a specific moment in your life, an instant that forever marked how you saw yourself. I clearly remember that wound caused by someone who should have been your shelter but ended up being the source of your deepest pain. Those judgments that hurt you so deeply created false beliefs about your worth, as if it depended on your actions to deserve love. But listen well, my child, none of those wounds, none of those judgments were your fault. Do not carry on your shoulders the weight of something that was never your responsibility. You were born whole, perfect, loved from the beginning, without needing to prove anything to anyone. You are my masterpiece, conceived with purpose and with a love that knows no conditions. Draw near to me, do not fear. I am the one who embraces you without asking anything in return, the one who rejoices in your simple existence and not only in what you do or achieve. Rest in my arms and let me reveal to you the truth about who you are, a unique creation, made in my image, with gifts and qualities that no one else has. Never allow anyone to tell you that you are too sensitive, too emotional, or that your dreams are too big. These are not weaknesses, but strengths that connect you deeply with the world and with the people around you. Your sensitivity is a window to perceive what many do not see. Your capacity to feel intensely is the bridge that unites you to others, allowing you to share the empathy and compassion that define you. I see every act of kindness you have done, even when no one recognized it. Every silent effort, every sacrifice that no one thanked, I hold with care. And for that, today I affirm to you, return to yourself, abandon the false images that others tried to impose on you. You are loved for who you are, not for your achievements. Finally, let the feeling of inadequacy that has pursued you for so long completely dissolve. You no longer need to judge yourself so harshly, for from my eternal perspective, your mistakes have been forgiven and released. I want you to also rescue the happy memories, those that pain covered over but that still live inside you, waiting to bloom again. Joy is your inheritance, hope is your destiny. Every step you took, every tear you cried, all were part of your formation and the path to a future full of meaning and purpose. Trust me, because I never abandoned you and I never will. Your rest is in me, and here you will find the peace you so deeply seek. With love, God. Today, the heavens rejoice over your decision to move forward, because your freedom, your restoration, and your victory are part of my eternal plan. Never forget, I love you deeply, I am with you, and nothing will ever separate you from my love. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.